Aloha, everybody. What's happening?
It's so good to be back. How you doing, my brother Mel?
Doing really good, bro. Doing really good. Hang on here. Let me get my stuff up
Well,
here.
again, brother, our our prayers are with you and your family. I know it's been a rough couple days, and I'd like to again extend my heartfelt condolences to you and your family,
Thank
and
you.
to and I didn't know, but also to um, officers Overmeyer and Jenkins because they were affected as well. So
Well, thank you. Thank you. I know I see my Auntie Mary is on. I see Michelle Jenkins, Kaylee Overmeyer. I see the entire family is on tonight. For those of you that
yes,
don't know, I appreciate you guys understanding. Last night I didn't want to explain in a post, but my uncle, my mom's brother, passed away unexpectedly yesterday morning, and it was just a tough time. And so I appreciate your all your beautiful messages of condolences to the family. I can tell you that we all appreciate that so much. And my uncle is Ed Medeiros. Many of you know him as Mr. Ed, long-time credit union guy, Kauai government. I mean, he was First Hawaiian Bank. He was Kekaha Credit Union. He was like a really good friend to me, and just happens to be my mom's brother. But growing up, he had a fishing boat. Uh, the Ali Bahini Vai was the name of the boat. 22-foot fiberfoam. I'll never forget because I remember when he brought it over from Honolulu, and I was so honored. I was little. I was still in high school, a young kid, and he took me on as a crew member. We talked about it last night. We had a lot of fun talking about the stories, but yeah, it's so unexpected, man. This guy, good guy, touched a lot of people, and you can tell by the comments and I can see the condolences coming in. Thank you all again. My auntie Mary's on. Uh, my uncle, his wife Jenny, and it's weird, Auntie Jenny. The two daughters, Lisa and Michelle. Lisa's married to Jason Overmar, KPD officer. Michelle's married to Christian Jenkins, KPD officer, and a bunch of their kids. And it's just the family's huge, and so yeah, we just spent some time last night, had dinner with the family, the close family, and just shared a little bit, about it's so different when it's unexpected. My uncle, he battled cancer. And he had just come back from the Mayo Clinic out there in Minnesota. He was actually a day after his quarantine finished, and it's just so unfortunate. So my heart, my prayers go out to the family again, to all of them, and they're actually on tonight, and it's a special show because they're
hmm
on. And you know, for all of you out there that sent the messages, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I don't know what the family's gonna do about services. It's so tough. I hate COVID so much. I effing hate COVID because Uncle Ed deserves a huge service with all of his friends. He's got tons of friends, and it's gotta be adjusted and altered because of this goddamn virus. But you know what? There will be a time, Charlie. There will be a time that we will be able to celebrate his life the proper way. But for right now, just please send your prayers to the entire family, Uncle Ed's family, and wishing
yep,
them, you know, uh, the timing is horrible. It's never good, but right after Christmas. And, it's really bizarre, Charlie. I was talking to my auntie. My mom's sister flew in, and I gotta say thank you to Sarah Blaine and Officer or Bobby Thompson. They were able to get the travel exemption in, so she could at least go to the hospital. She flew in as soon as we found out he was in the hospital. She got over here and she was able to at least go. This is my auntie Edwina, my mom's sister, could at least go and see my uncle at the hospital. And so Sarah Blaine, Bobby Thompson, mahalo you guys so much. so much. And we're hoping everybody has a fantastic 2021, considering all that has gone on. And we have many people have lost loved ones, throughout this year. Charlie, you included, man. Um, and you got
Oh,
COVID uh, and things like what happened to Marco that you never know. You just never know when your time is up on this planet. And that's why Patsy told me tonight, you guys should talk positive stuff tonight. Well, we will. We'll talk positive because
yep.
we talk about it a lot about the mindset, having a positive mindset, but you cannot ignore
hmm
what's going on around us. And there's a lot of things going on regarding COVID, but we will prevail, and we will continue on. And I cannot tell you how proud I am of my uncle's family, the daughters, and all everybody. It's so strong, so inspiring to see. But yeah, thank you all. So, and Charlie, you are like, what the hell? Are you like on surveillance or something? What the heck, man? You're like deep undercover. Is that what?
It's so deep. It's so deep that I'm drowning right now. No, it's I'm doing a special project. Actually, it benefits the entire island of Kauai. What I'm doing right now, I can't say much about it other than I did post something what I was doing this morning, and we always say like the show must go on, and we couldn't cut it short. There was just a little mechanical glitch, and so we ran with you know just one generator, and it accomplished its goal. But I had another security matter I had to take care of. Then I came back to this, and actually we're supposed to be done like about. I got here about 6 a.m. this morning, between 5 and 6, and we're supposed to get done by like between 12 and 1. And as you can tell, it's 7 p.m. So I thank a very understanding wife. She told me, just be safe. I mean, I can't do anything. And you know what's hard is like, you feel so privileged. You go to school, you get all these credentials, and you really don't know. Sometimes you ask yourself, why am I getting all these credentials for? But then when stuff like this happens, someone with the credentials has to be at the location, or there are fines to pay. That's just the way it is. And so I am one of those that have the credentials, and I'm just honored to be here, but I didn't anticipate it go this long. But you know what? Keeping a positive mind, I was able to share the beautiful sunrise today coming from the east end over the southeast shore coming over. I was able to do some videos of this huge barge called the Hilo Bay. And it's just so nice just to sit down and watch the skills of these boatsmen, how they can hook themselves up to a barge, so many tons, and just with the move of a joystick back and forth, they can manipulate that barge and just put it so gently against the side of the pier without damaging anything. I mean, it's amazing. And then to top it all off, I was looking, and I was mad at myself because I left my camera phone in my phone in the car. And I said, gee, I wish I could see some Honu this morning. And sure enough, there's about 3 or 4 of them right in Port Allen. They popped up. And I swear they were smiling at me. And I promise, Mel, I wasn't drinking. So I'm not hallucinating. Okay. But
It's
I swear those,
the fumes, Charlie. It's the fumes that you're inhaling down there.
I tell you, that Honu just came up, and it was, it made me feeling real good. So that's the reason, ladies and gentlemen, I am coming to you, because I told Mel, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Luckily, I had my jetpack with me, and I don't know if on your end, if the reception is clear, but I'm running off the internet from within my car. So anyone who decides to come on the Mel and Charlie show with Zoom, and you're going to do it from your car, make sure you get a jetpack. If I am doing it correctly, Mel, is it clear enough for you, Mel?
Well, yeah, man. It's like really clear. It's really clear. We missed the colors in your back. The background, your Christmas tree. You know, as you can
Well,
see, I get my
I can.
beautiful, my nice little backdrop, courtesy of Kirk Correa. Kirk provided myself and Charlie this for
Yeah.
Christmas.
Hmm.
Um, and I just want to mahalo him for that. Look at that. That's so cool, man. That's so cool. Pretty soon, bro,
Yep.
we get a studio pretty soon, Charles. Pretty soon we're gonna get a
Yep.
studio.
I
So
also wanted to touch.
everybody's I don't know if you can see the comments, but everybody's saying that they can see you clear and it's perfect. So,
Thank you. I also want to comment again that I I turn on the lights for the. I just put on the highlights because these harbor people they can't leave until everything is locked up, right? And got one good brother, he has to walk all the way down to the jetty because we put up all these warning signs all over the place because we sure don't want anyone smoking close by. Uh, we shouldn't want anyone getting overcome by the fumes that's emitted from during the transfer. And so I just turned on my lights because he has to walk out to the jetty to grab those signs to let people know that during this project they can't go on the pier. A lot of fishermen came by today. A lot of fishermen came by today. But I did want to tell you, Mel, and today is day 2 for me. Okay, today is day 2
mhm.
since I got my vaccine shot. One, I have no swelling on my arms. I don't have, I was asked to, just please be very, very careful about any side effects, allergies, coughing, uncontrolled coughing, fevers. And I'll be honest, I've had more problems taking a flu shot than this vaccine for COVID. Tell you the truth. I mean, I feel chipper, man. I feel
You
really
look
good.
chipper. You look
Yeah, I
chipper.
feel good.
You look chipper.
I feel really good.
Awesome. And well,
And
thank
I
you
don't
for
want
doing that.
anybody,
Thank you
I
for
don't want
doing that.
anybody to worry because, there's still some people out there. My suggestion is call, speak with your family physician. Okay. Let him spell out the pros and cons because, with this new variant that's kind of spreading like wildfire now, we need something to get ahead of this virus just so we can create a break for that split moment in time. We cannot, I mean, look at that poor congressman from Louisiana. He didn't even get sworn in yet. And he passes away, 41 years of age. He passes away from COVID.
Healthy.
It's things,
No
yeah,
underlying conditions. No underlying
yes,
conditions.
yes, sad,
41 years old. Uh,
yes.
and that's a great, we're going to talk a lot tonight about different things. And I'm glad you started with the vaccine because I
Hmm.
think people, there's some issues with getting the vaccine out. But, we got to focus on what we can control. So I see a lot of posts about, the government screwing up and I understand that. But bottom line is when your turn comes, you have a choice to take the vaccine or not. But I want people they need to understand, and I'm seeing more and more of the messaging as you keep talking about coming out now on the news from Dr. Fauci's and all of these other experts that listen, people, the vaccine, while it will limit the level of sickness
Hmm.
that you may get in the event you get the virus, it does not stop you from passing the virus. I think people, and we talked about this before they released the vaccine, that we were worried and concerned that once people would get the vaccine, and I saw your video, Charlie, and you made it very clear, and I appreciate that when you said, just because I got the vaccine doesn't mean I'm not going to stop wearing my mask or stop social distancing. That this this vaccine will not stop you from spreading the virus. So it's important that for those of you that get the vaccine, that you keep that in mind, that this is not the cure. This is not, you get the vaccine and you no longer can catch it. No, you can still get the virus. That you can still carry the virus and you can still pass the virus.
But
So
brother,
you gotta,
I want the people to remember one thing also too. Wearing your mask, please. Wearing a mask does not replace you from not brushing your teeth in the morning, okay? Don't think that wearing a mask, You can go without brushing your teeth. It ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good point. Good point.
Thank you.
But as this, did you get the Pfizer or the Moderna, whatever Moderna, the hell the other one is called?
Well, I was told, I got my paperwork today because they keep the original. I was given the Pfizer, but based on your weight, your height and weight, I was given a couple of drops of chili pepper water and show you with my vaccine.
Okay.
So maybe that's no. I took the Pfizer.
Pfizer. Okay.
Yeah.
I did see somebody post that the Moderna vaccine was being given at the convention hall today. So,
Yes. Yes.
So again, just people listen. Go back to the basics. When we first started this 10 months ago, not whatever, however long, we kept telling you, and this message has kind of gone silent, and including with us, is you got to assume everybody has the virus. You just have to assume that everyone has the virus, including yourself,
Yes.
yourself. So if we think that way, then we'll be all right. We'll be all right. But and I know I see people posting about the people protesting about the vaccine. Listen, guys, if you don't like take the vaccine, don't take the vaccine. It's not mandatory. I don't know why these guys are. You're taking my rights. No, you're not being forced to take the vaccine.
That's right. That's right.
These people.
That's right.
I gotta tell you, man, and I'm trying to stay positive, but these people irritate me. And if they were out there wearing their mask, practicing social distance, it will be fine. I don't care what you protest. Protest whatever you want, but follow the rules. And these people are out there violating the rules and protesting something that's not even mandatory. They want their 15 minutes of fame. Go get it doing something good. Go videotape yourself dropping off food at the food bank or go feeding homeless people. Go videotape yourself 15 minutes and post that on Facebook. I promise you, I'll share it to our 5,000 friends. But don't be on jackass and go stand up on the side of the road with on sign without one mask or right next to all your people. You do what you like, do, but don't endanger other people's lives. And Charlie, you touched on that new strain that first popped up in Colorado. Now it's in Southern California. Guess what, people? It's here. It's here. If it's in Southern California, the bulk of our visitors come from Southern California. It's here. And whatever, you don't believe.
Well, let's think positive. Let's think positive, and let's just hope it's not here. Okay. So, I just want to say, for everyone's sake, and you made it perfectly clear, Mel, and that is the vaccine is your choice. Okay. It's not like a government run thing where nobody has a choice to take it or not. You are being given a choice whether you want to take it or not. And if you feel, just like religion, some people are religious and some people aren't. All we're saying is I'm not going to try to convince anyone otherwise, other than to just give my manao, to share what I experienced, that I didn't get some of the side effects that's been talked about. None of it. In fact, I was thinking, because with the flu shot that I took, the injection site was sore. This one wasn't sore at all. And I still feel good. I still feel good. So I just want everybody just to know that, hey, it's there for the taking. And if you don't want it, then don't take it.
Yeah. And by the way, Dr. Miskovich is on our call. He had made a very nice comment, Charlie, about you and our family, to him as well, and to our viewers. Yeah. And that's, and those of you still commenting, condolences, thank you all. But Dr. Miskovich, Susan is saying, Dr. Miskovich said on news tonight to stay 8 to 10 feet apart and 5 minutes, not 15. And I think that just, again, validates what we've been trying to say, that you got to assume. If you knew, Charlie, if you knew I had COVID, right?
Right.
And I told you, hey, go meet me Hi, Kukui Grove, like last week. Hey, go meet me by Starbucks, Kukui Grove. We exchange things.
Mhm.
It would be a little different, right?
Well, I know you didn't have COVID, but again, you sat in the car, right? But we were
Absolutely.
masked. We
Absolutely.
we we uh, we fist bumped, right?
Absolutely.
And when you went in, what was the first thing I did when you came in the car, other than a fist bump? I had my sanitizer. I gave you some. I had some. We did our routine, right?
Yeah.
Because it becomes second nature already. It becomes second nature, and I
And then,
just
and
wanted,
the only reason I went in a car was because it was raining. If it wasn't raining, we would have done the transfer right through the window, bro. You know. But I guess we gotta now with this new variant, and someone did correct it. It's not a new strain. It's the same
yeah,
strain. It's just a
right.
variant. It's a mutation. It's a mutation or whatever. It's a variant of the COVID virus. That this one is so much more contagious, so much more. No evidence to show that it's more dangerous or deadly, but it is more contagious, which is critical when you live on an island community like we do on each of our islands. So, guys, just gotta be safe. We just gotta be safe. You know.
And brother Mel, please forgive me, but I am released from my position. The Joseph South tug uh, made its uh, made its appearance on the side of that large barge, and they will be departing for Honolulu, I should say. So if it looks like I'm not paying attention, I want to pay attention to the screen, but I also want to see what's in front of me as I drive.
Yeah, no worry about the screen, Charlie. No worry about the screen.
Okay,
In fact, you just drive. You just follow the
okay,
road. All right. We got you, man. As long as we can hear you, and we can see you, you don't have to see us. You don't have to see us.
okay. And please don't get excited if I'm driving and I go, ah! Okay, nothing happened. Don't get excited. I get one of those James Brown. Like I feel good and I'll
Oh yeah.
scream everyone. Yeah, I get a James Brown moment. You know what I mean? So
I
please
know
forgive me.
a lot of you guys are asking about the safe travel program that was just approved.
Yes.
Kauai's request to remember our mayor requested to opt out, which was granted. So we opted out. So we no longer participated in the safe travel program, meaning that everyone that flew into Kauai would have to quarantine for 10 days. And the mayor submitted twice a request to have our visitors require a pre-travel test and a post-travel test after a 72-hour quarantine. Well, we know that had been rejected. The mayor had submitted a new proposal that would require a pre-travel negative test, uh, quarantine for 72 hours in a resort bubble, and then they could be released from quarantine. That was approved tonight. That was approved. The press release just came out.
Yes.
And just so that I don't misquote anybody, I have the press release right here.
But here's the other thing, Mel. Here's the other thing. So that's one that was approved. The
Correct.
other one, I think the mayor is waiting for approval, is to opt back in for the inter-island travel. Because
Correct.
the one you're
Yes.
talking about talks about the trans-Pacific travel.
Right.
The inter-island travel, the way I understand it, is we had to have been in island for at least 3 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's actually two proposals. One's been approved, and that's for trans-Pacific resort bubble. Now we're waiting for the inter-island travel for people like you and I, if we want to travel to another island.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read it as it's written because I know I see a lot of people asking questions about that. So this proposal will allow Kauai to move forward with limited tourism in resort bubbles while honoring the county's request to opt out of the Safe Travels program. said Governor Ige. Travelers who participate in this program will be able to enjoy resort amenities and visit the pool for the first 3 days of their vacations until they are eligible to take their post-travel tests. Once the post-travel test shows that they are COVID-free, they can enjoy all that Kauai has to offer. So this is the deal. To qualify, travelers must take a pre-travel test within 72 hours before traveling to Kauai and receive a negative result. Again, you gotta have a negative result. You gotta stay at an approved EMQ resort bubble property, and you gotta take a post-travel test more than 72 hours. So more than 3 days after you arrive, more than 72 hours, you gotta take a second test, and it has to be negative. And the resort bubble hotels on Kauai right now are the Cliffs at Princeville, the Hilton Garden in Kauai, which is at the Wailoa River mouth, Koa Kea Hotel and Resort in Poipu, the Club at Kukui'ula, Timbers Kauai Ocean Club and Residences at Hokuala, and the Kauai Marriott Resort and Beach Club. So we now have 6 properties on Kauai that have qualified, and I'm assuming that more will put in the request and get qualified or certified to do it. Participation in the post-travel program is voluntary and open to all travelers, including visitors and residents. Now, what Charlie said is a whole different request that the mayor made, and this would provide or allow for the testing of the inter-island travel. Visitors can stay in non-EMQ hotels and motels, but they will be subject to the full 10-day quarantine without the testing opportunity. Residents can also fulfill their 10-day travel quarantine at home without leaving the property. So anyway, that's where it's at right now. That was just approved tonight or this afternoon.
But doesn't the mayor wanting to opt back in for inter-island travel that was suggested by the governor? That's a different one.
That's the one that we're waiting for a response. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So
perfect.
that one would be they need to have their test result before they get on the plane. And if you don't get your test result before you get on the plane, then you get the 10-day quarantine. So I hope that answered your questions. I'm sure it's going to be all over the news tonight. You can always go to our kauai.gov website for the updates.
COVID-19, right?
Yeah, COVID-19 page, or you can go to the governor's governor's website or his webpage, and all of his press releases are available there. So, trying to crank up the visit industry a little bit, getting that first test followed up by a second test. I know many of us was pushing for a 5-day or a 6-day, some even a 7-day post test. This was the original request for 72 hours. And someone just messaged me, can they rent a car and go quarantine after? They cannot rent a car as long as they're still in quarantine. So after they clear quarantine with a second test, yes, they are free to move around wherever they want, rent cars and so forth. They could technically come to a resort bubble for 3 days, which is what I would think people would do. If I was smart, if I was a travel agent right now, that's what I would be doing. I would be booking packages with multiple hotels for the bargain hunters. Timbers $1,500 a night or whatever it is, Marriott. These are not cheap hotels. But if you stay there for 3 days, get your second test, get your results, and then you can move on to a more reasonable hotel. But that's going to be up to the travelers. I think those that have money, they'll stay at the resort bubble. And we're going to hear the arguments or the concerns about the resort bubble, the safety of the employees. And I got to tell you, the few employees that I have actually spoken to that have been working at the resort bubbles have, while they have some concern, they're not going to do anything that's going to put themselves at risk. And it's really up to the hotels and the management to provide all of the safety, the safety protocols for our employees to be safe. That's where it lies. I understand that, and me, I'm different. I'm a little outspoken. If my boss told me to do something unsafe, uh, I would call OSHA. I would call OSHA. I would. If you're telling me I gotta go do something and you're not doing your part to keep me safe, I'm calling OSHA. But
Right.
a lot of people are afraid to do that. But that's a remedy, and there's no way that they can punish you for doing that. So anyway, from what I've heard though, there have been really the protocols in place are primarily to keep the employee safe as well as the guests.
Okay, perfect.
So we'll see.
Well, I would like to also bring to the attention of many of our viewers out there. I hope and pray that those of you that wants to burn fireworks got the necessary permits that's required, depending on what island you live on. But as I was leaving the Port Allen area, some, some knuckleheads is already um, setting off aerials that's not sold in stores. And so all I'm going to ask is, please, ladies and gentlemen, I know that's a tradition, okay, but tradition comes with safety. And when that safety factor is taken away, the tradition is taken away as well. So just please be careful. I mean, I saw cars going and they're shooting them right over the cars. I don't know if they thought it was funny, but it's it's just too bad. It's just too bad. It
You
shouldn't it
know,
shouldn't happen.
we live in the Wailo house lots, and I've said it before. My house, 720 square feet, single wall, redwood, tongue and groove, old plantation house, um, and it's a small house. We get knuckleheads in our neighborhood that are blowing off aerials, that are
Mhm.
bombs. These things are bombs, and the concussion of these explosions actually shake our house, and it scares us because it's unexpected, obviously, and so what I want to know, and I cannot afford $1,000 rewards. I cannot afford $500 rewards, but I can afford one $25 gift card from wherever you like. If you just anonymously let, I mean, you gotta obviously message me so I'll know who you are, but it will be anonymous, and tell me who's selling these damn aerials, which are totally illegal. They're very dangerous. So if you know anybody that's selling this stuff, usually I get the info. I haven't gotten it this year. I would love, I would love to make sure they get prosecuted. I understand the culture. I do. You can buy the legal stuff. You can buy all of the legal things that make as much noise and red pepper, all you like. But these aerials are illegal for a purpose, for a reason. It's because it's very dangerous. Dangerous for the people that are launching them. Dangerous for the potential fires that they cause. So please, if you know of where, we'll set them up. I'm telling you right now, if it's you, be careful because we will set you up and we will get you arrested. There's no need for that. Those aerials, and they're shooting them up all over. The other night, I cannot believe it was, they must have had about 12 or 15, all from the same location. And I cannot imagine why no one's calling. And I understand people say, oh, it's a culture. Well, first of all, it ain't New Year's Eve yet. There's certain time limits, and that is because we can have the fire people ready and the police people ready. But man, they're blowing them. They've been blowing them for the last month, which means that the shipment came in and it's being available, made available, and people are buying them. But it's not just me and Patsy, but it's all the kupuna out there that live alone maybe, and they're hearing these things, they're getting frightened. It's the animals, the dogs that are going berserk. Look at all the lost dogs we see in Facebook because these guys are literally breaking off their leashes to run for cover. These dogs are
Right.
frightened. So yeah, it comes down to respect, courtesy. It just comes down to that, man. Being respectful for people. Yeah, that probably pissing off some people, but it is what it is, guys. I just think you can do the celebration, you can do the cultural celebration, without having to go and blow up those bombs. And I hate when they do that. There's a lot of veterans here that suffer from PTSD, that any little sudden noises like that freaks them out, and it causes a problem. And if you don't know what that is, well, then you should go look it up, because it's not healthy for these people. So please show some respect, show some courtesy, and just do it right. Use the right stuff, and wait
Well,
until
there's
it's
there is that woe is me, right? Because sometimes some they want to get up close and personal to see the fireworks, so they light it and they actually look down the tube to see if it's getting ready to fire off,
yeah,
and then boom, they hurt their eyeball, and the next thing you know, everybody, they start one GoFundMe page because they don't get paid for the medical. I mean,
yeah.
if you go on Lolo, no, go start one GoFundMe page. And another thing that really, and I sorry, Mel, I thought I gonna pull over. I'm in Waimea right now, and get people waving at me like, "Uncle, you okay?" Yes, I just parked on the side of the road, and I'm with all of you viewers out there that so graciously take time out to listen to Mel and I. But there's this. I watch this series, Narco Wars. They
Oh
talk
yeah,
about Homeland Security. They talk about the millions and millions of dollars to
yeah.
stop drugs from coming in the United States. I mean, they get drones, they get everything, right?
Hmm.
They just not can stop fireworks for some reason. And I
I,
think to myself, heaven forbid they put the drugs in the fireworks. It'll be even worse.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
So
that is so true,
I'm
man. That
sorry.
is so true. No, I mean, you think, you get this. It really isn't that difficult. But it's not a priority. It's not a priority. But again, if you're that person at home alone, and
Right.
maybe suffering from PTSD, I don't know if people understand that the heart races, the palpitations, all of that stuff happens when those things, and it's no fun, and people just gotta have more respect for others. So. Horrible, horrible. So I just wanted to put that in, because we hear it. I'm surprised we haven't heard it tonight. Usually the night before New Year's, they're blowing them
Right.
up. A lot of people posting about the money. Yeah, a lot of a lot of these things are not cheap. They're very expensive, and
Hmm.
I think right now, when you're in the middle of a pandemic, you probably want to save that money for necessities. And again, I understand. Really, we we always said you got to blow at least one firecracker to scare away the spirits, and I understand that. But you don't need to drop one H bomb to blow the spirits. You know. But it's a competition, right? Who can get the better aerials? Who can get them? These things are the quality of aerials that you see at fireworks shows, that when you go down to hospice or Kekaha, these are the same quality. They're not cheap. They're very, very expensive. So,
And
but whatever.
always get people, they like see how high the aerial go. If they get the one, they go the highest, right?
Yeah,
So, also young guys is, hey, you can get a hard time measuring how high that thing go. Why don't you lie that thing down on the ground and shoot them along the road and measure? And always the guy will come back and say, no, I don't like measure how far the thing go. I like measure how high the thing.
or you get the really brilliant guy that says, brother, we both bought the one that go 500 feet. But I learned at the University of Google that if we put them in one bottle, a big jar, and we fill them up with fertilizer, bigger bang. You know, remember that NFL player that lost three of his fingers playing around with
Oh man.
fireworks? He's still playing. I mean, he get one fancy cast, but he
Yeah.
lost some fingers. These things are
Yeah.
dangerous, and you know, anyway, I do hope everybody has a very safe. Not we don't just got to worry about fireworks. We got to worry about COVID. So everybody just have a safe New Year's Eve tomorrow night. Charlie and I will come on tomorrow. We talk story, just really,
Yeah.
informal. jump on to wish everybody a happy new year. I'm sure we'll have about 8 viewers because everybody gonna be out blowing up their aerials. But for those of you that do watch, we'll be there just to give a very short.
I can almost even say, Mommy, turn that damn thing off. Uncle Mel and Uncle Charlie go spoil our night. This is our chance for blowing our bombs up. Turn them off. When don't I listen
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I gotta go find me one little sparkler or something. We never buy anything. We've just been so
Brother,
frugal.
you
Everybody's
don't need
saving up
no
what we can.
sparklers. You don't need no sparklers. Worst comes to worst, just get one old bed sheet, put them in one old bottle, just put a little bit accelerant. Just a little bit.
There we go.
Not too much.
See, Charlie, you was the guy I was talking about, man. Yeah, tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night gonna be, and tomorrow night, it's been a bad year for so many people. It's been a really horrific year, and this is the one opportunity that they will be able to blow out 2020 and ring in 2021. And so I understand the desire to go out and do something special tomorrow night, and we encourage that. Just make sure you do it safely and legally, and we really want to get rid of this year. Charlie, it's been a really crappy, and yet there's been a lot of good things that's come out of it. I think we talk about the family, the ohana that we have. We have become part of on this show. We have friends and family now, and it's so amazing that I think about this every single day. Not a day goes by, Charlie, and I know you know this because I know it happens to you. But there's not a day that goes by that people will come up and thank me or mention the show and say how much they enjoy. And and these are range from people that watch us every night to whenever they get a chance. I picked up lunch today at one of our local places, and there was a lady that said, thank you for keeping us informed. I'd never seen her name and I know the woman, but I never seen her name. But a lot of these people watch after the fact, or they watch it on YouTube, so we don't ever get to see them pop up on the comments. But it gives me such a good feeling knowing that this thing actually people do watch this for the content, and not just to see Mel and Charlie, but because they're interested in the content and the information. And I think for me, as I think about all the good things that happened back in 2020 tomorrow night, as we do our as we enter 2021, I'll probably be sleeping by the time midnight comes. But I think that's one of the biggest things that I'll be most thankful for. One of the things that we've been able to create this community that we have become very attached to, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful. I feel so blessed. And there's many other things. I'm thankful for my kids being healthy and safe, and even though we cannot see them, and there's just so many things to be thankful for. But I just wanted to say that this little community that's been created, I'm so thankful and blessed, Charlie. Got to tell you, man.
Yep.
And it would never have happened if not for you, my man.
Well, we always thank the good Lord for what we have, and we ask for His continual blessings upon each and every one of us. And I always fear that not fear, but I always have to mention this, and that is I always ask Him for the safety of everyone. And to be honest, Mel, I even ask for the safety of my enemies, because nobody should go through life to lose a life sooner than need be, right? If God has the plan and it goes as it's planned, you live a long life, but you don't have to have it cut short. So I always ask that you keep everybody safe. And the thing that I enjoy the most is when I get to hear from people, like you said, thanking us. It's not so much the thanking, it's just the fact that they paid attention. And so, we can give more. And there's some that decided, well, I had enough, and I totally understand it. But, as this as things start to evolve, you know, Mel and I, we're gonna try to keep up with it because that involves us as well. So if something starts to evolve that doesn't look like it's gonna be safe, then hey, let's get the information out. Let's keep everybody safe, you know. And so that's why I felt the need today, you know, when I was taking the video, I just had to show what a great day it is to just be alive. Look at the creation that God made for us, beautiful sunrise, and you know, just be happy, you know, just be happy. Some of us have it tough. You know, I look at those guys on those tugs and barge, right? They're away from their family. I think like 5-6 days out of the week, that's all they're doing. They're going from island to island. I mean, just imagine just riding a boat going from island to island in weather, sometimes seas, 12 to 15 foot waves, just getting pounded, you know what I mean? But that's the life they chose. And you know, you got to give them thanks because they're doing something for many of us, you know, utilities, so forth. Even the people that's bringing in goods to our island. You know, I know one thing, Mel, why we have it rough, and I just thought about this. Why we have it rough in the islands? Because each island is separate. Each island is separate. If we were connected by a landmass and be like a California or like a Montana or whatever, then would only have one set of rules, right? Because we'll be just one land. But we're different. We're different. And I want to commend the mayors of each island. You know, they're doing the best that what with the hand that they've been dealt with. They're doing the best. They're doing the best that they can do. And I know I've been hard on the governor, but you know, there are some things that I will give him credit for. But you know, what he's been going through hasn't been easy too. And you know, when you get, I hate to say this, but when you get knuckleheads like me that picking on him all the time, it doesn't help. But you know, I'm gonna see what else he's gonna do, and I just want to make sure that he understands the safety of the people of Hawaii comes first and foremost over anything. It's the safety of the people of Hawaii. That's what comes first.
And that really should be the guiding principle for decision makers. You know, that just should be. It's, I mean, how can you not use that? And it's just a level of priority that, you know, everybody has a different opinion. You know, obviously, Charlie, you and I, we've been really advocating for a very strict protocol that would provide the highest level of safety for our people. That's just what we believe. The governor he's pulled by all the different forces of business, of labor unions, of industry. He's being pulled and he's trying to balance this out and trying to make, I won't say trying to make everybody happy, but he's trying to make everybody less angry, less pissed off at him, and the compromise, right? That's what they say. Politics is the art of compromise. Well, for me, it's just safety and health and safety is not a compromisable matter. You don't compromise away people's safety. But I understand. Trust me. I know. I mean, I've sat in meetings where the pressure is horrific. It's bad, and it's very convincing to hear different sides of an issue. But at the end of the day, you know, people tell me, you know, you when you was on a council, you vote. You know, you sometimes you only you. How did that feel? I said, well, to me, it doesn't hurt me if I lose a vote. It doesn't hurt me if I lose a vote, a bill. If I, it's not about winning and losing. It's about representing your constituents and making sure that their voices are heard. And it was very simple. And I may have said this before, Charlie. I apologize for those that may have heard me say this, but I've said it so many times. People ask me, wow, those tough decisions. How you choose? Very simple. I ask myself, if I vote yes, will my kids benefit? In their generation, will they benefit? If I vote no, will they benefit? Because if a decision is made that's not going to help or benefit the future generations, why in the world would you support it? See, so it makes it very easy. All of a sudden, all of the noise that politicians hear from all the special interests don't really mean much anymore because it comes down to that very simple philosophy.
Hmm.
If this passes, will my children and their generation benefit? If yes, I vote yes. If no, I vote no. That's simple. Not too much. That's how you make it. I was talking to Augie T the other day, councilman elect, Augie T, and that's what I told him. I said, bro, two things, man. You vote with your heart, and you vote with what you believe is best for the community you represent. Period. The noise no matter. The noise doesn't matter. I don't care what all these other special interest groups say. It comes down to that. Will your decision benefit future generations? If not, just throw it away. And if you're 6-1 in Honolulu, if you're 8-1, so what? So what? You did what you thought was right, and that's how it should be. And if everybody thought that way, we'd be in a much better place. I can promise you, we'd be in a much better place. It,
Right.
and I'm talking across the country, not just on Kauai.
Yep.
Look at
Well,
Congress. They cannot even agree on a freaking stimulus package because of politics, because of Democrats versus Republicans, and the hatred that they have for each other.
mm,
Something as simple, $600. Are you freaking serious? People, thousands of dollars in back rent. People are up to their past their head in credit card debt, and one little measly $600. And I don't get into the whole political discussion. My point is this: is you are in a position to make decisions to help people, not help industry, not help anything else, but to help people. We're in a
mhm.
pandemic. Now is the time to help people, help small business. That's what we need to do. Sorry,
Right.
that's another stupid rant I should never have started. Because I did want to talk about one more thing, Charlie.
Go
January,
ahead.
January,
Go ahead.
January 4th.
Go
No,
ahead.
Charlie.
You're on a roll. You're on a roll.
No,
Go ahead.
only because Charlie, I know you had did some research. We had hoped to get OHA. We
Yep.
wanted to get OHA on, and we talked about sending out some invitations, which we did. No
Yep.
one no one wants to come on to Mel and Charlie if it's a controversial issue. So anyway, but January 4th, Senator Favela, who you saw the other night, talking about the Hawaiian Homelands Commission plan, their plan to open a casino up there on Oahu. Uh, so January 4th, if you didn't go to my page, you'll see the link, or you'll see the picture of the date and the time and where it's gonna be at the Capitol. If you can make it go. But Charlie, I know you was trying to get OHA to come on.
Yes. Yes. I wanted, but they're unfortunately they're in recess right now. They haven't taken up the matter, and so the individuals I contacted last night just didn't want to, I guess, make a comment outside of the realm of what they represent with OHA, and I totally respect that. But I did want to say that the more and more I thought about it, I what I'm really concerned is there a possibility? Is there a possibility when we're talking about gaming, which is illegal, and I'm pretty sure the commission votes on it. They got to do something with Congress as well. Everybody has to be notified. Should they come down to a decision to be made that, hey, if we're talking about Native Hawaiians or Native Indians, okay, indigenous people, is there a possibility that the land can be taken from the Native Hawaiians? That's my concern. One, two. I still don't know what the business plan is and how much it will generate in revenue. One casino. Because if that was a philosophy, I can tell you, you look at Vegas, there's many casinos, not one. So that's why Vegas makes out like a bandit. There's many. So are we talking about one casino that will then sprout into two, then sprout into four, sprout into eight, sprout into 68? I mean, is that what they're talking about? And I am just baffled and lost for words why the commission, the Hawaiian Homes Commission, would even go down. I mean, sometimes you look at the easy way out, right? This one easily generate revenue. Okay. But did you, by proposing this, did you already think about one gaming commission? I think you would need that as well. And because it's illegal, how do you get around the illegality of it? Right? I mean, you got to think about all that kind of stuff. Or was this something that, like Harry Potter, you get just thinking, you go, oh yeah, and I think you're suddenly up here. I am just lost for words. And what hurts the most is I think whether you have Hawaiian or not, you should feel hurt. Because, when you get 40,000 people, as it said in a document that I was reading off of the other night with Senator Kurt Favela, X number of thousands of people still on the wait list. My number one question is, why is it taking so long? I mean, did the printer run out of ink? Or is there just not enough paper to put ink to paper and give it to someone who's deserving of a property? Is that the problem? See, nobody has answered why is it taking this long?
Mm-hmm. It's the management, obviously. It's the management. There's an awesome subdivision in Anahola that I talked about the other night that the utilities are all in, and just why aren't they turning those lots over to the Hawaiians? I don't know. And that's why you'll never get any of them on our show, because they can't answer. I don't know what the heck. How does it take so long? I was thinking the other night, because I see some people say, no, no, it would be good. It would be good. And keep in mind what I just said about asking yourself the question, will it benefit the future generations? We know what casinos do. We know what gambling does. We know it's a decision of whether or not you wanna incur the social cost to justify the revenue. That's all it boils down to that. Are you willing as a decision maker to say, okay, we know drugs going to increase. We know crime going to increase. We know poverty going to increase. We know it's just addiction is going to increase. We know divorce is going to increase. We know bankruptcies. We know, but it's worth the money we're going to make. Okay, that's stupid, but that's what they got to. That's the balance. But I was thinking the other night, can you imagine if, and I'm not saying this to be funny. I know people are going to think that I'm trying to be funny. I'm not. Imagine if the Hawaiian Homelands Commission came out and said that we are going to, and let's not use Eva Beach. Let's use Hawaiian Homelands closer to the different part of Oahu and say, hey, we are going to open up a brothel, a huge brothel. No, you cannot do that. Prostitution is illegal. Well, so is gambling. But we're just gonna, because see, brothels it's a victimless crime. That's what they'll say. That's what these guys will say. But the fact that you're gonna open up a whorehouse would be so opposed just because of the nature of it. But the same people that are opposing a brothel would support a casino. Now, people are going to say, Mel, are you nuts? You're crazy. That's apples and oranges. No, because you see, the social cost in a gambling casino outweigh the social cost that would happen with a brothel. Now, trust me, I am not endorsing a brothel. I'm just saying gambling is so much more attractive and easier to sell because so many Hawaii people go to Vegas to gamble. But replace gambling with any other illegal activity, Let's say cockfighting. Hey, it's cultural. The royalty of Hawaii in the old days, they fought chickens. Let's build a cockfighting arena on Hawaiian homeland. That's going to generate a ton of money. But then you're going to have the people that say, whoa, wait a minute, no, it's cruelty to animals. But never mind the gambling because it's attractive. And it's because everybody else do them. I don't give a damn if everybody else do them. Maybe that's why everybody else is so screwed up. See, so replace gambling, a casino with any other illegal activity, and tell me if you honestly tell me, for those of you that support gambling on Hawaiian homelands, tell me if your attitude would be different if we change it to cockfighting, brothels, so forth? Seriously, I'd love to hear. I say no to all, but I'm just saying gambling is so much more easier to sell off to the people because it's attractive.
You know, sometimes sometimes it just there is just so many things. Okay, there is so many there's just so many things that comes to mind. You know what can happen. You, you know, with gaming, I mean, what are the guarantees? How are you going to regulate someone coming in there that can't even afford their rent to allow them that one game a chance to try to make it big, thinking that, you know, who knows, but still yet. How do you allow somebody who may have like an EBT card coming in to gamble? How do you know the difference between someone who is actually on welfare, allowing them in the casino to gamble? All you're doing is compounding the problem. And I think that's what we got to start first. You put something out on the marketplace, you got to make sure you address all the social problems first before you can do anything. Now, I haven't heard from the commission, you know, we need to find a way to generate funds. Okay, how much funds you have to generate? Why? Okay, why aren't you getting funds now? Have you been lobbying the state to get your fair share? I mean, I haven't heard anything. The only thing I know about the Hawaiian Homes Commission is when they talked about casinos. The other thing that I heard about the Hawaiian Homes Commission is I know every year I count and I said, okay, my name is still there. Yeah, it's still here, Mr. Iona. Okay. And that's about it. And like I said, I'm 37 years now. Next year will be 38.
The horror stories no end, Charlie. Every one of us knows somebody that's on the list, or somebody's parents are on the list, somebody's grandparents that passed away before they even got their home. That's what infuriates me. Because we're not talking about during the pandemic. We're not talking about in the last few years. No, it's been this way for as long as I can remember. I mean, really, it has been. And you know, we often get complaints in a county about this, but it's a county has absolutely no jurisdiction over DHHL lands. And again, I wish our counties would all stand up and come out with very powerful resolutions against this idea. And in fact, work with the state to improve the process so we can get these homes built quicker. And maybe the county's got to assist in creating funding opportunities, low interest loans for down payments, because we know it's very difficult to qualify for a mortgage when you don't own the land. We know that. We heard Senator Favela talk about, hey, turn over these lands fee simple, so at least these Hawaiian people can buy against the land and use the land as collateral. But that doesn't exist. So it's set up to fail unless you're rich. And most people that are rich are going to live in a nice neighborhood, and they have no use for the Hawaiian Homes land. So it's terrible. It's just set up to fail, and the priority needs to be get those houses up, and figure out a way how you can do that. Whether it's the old habitat style where the communities come together and share the labor amongst the subdivision, whatever it takes. They get paid good money to make this work. And you hit it on your head, man. Easy way out. Let's start a casino. Because somebody told me, I like meet somebody one day, Charlie. You know that somebody that always tells people stuff. I would love to meet that somebody that said we're gonna make $5 billion or 10 billion or 50 billion. Really, one casino. You guys have to go post office lately. You guys have to go post office lately. You saw the line out the door and take you 2 hours to get your damn letter mailed off. What do you think it look like at one casino in a county with 1 million people? You have one casino, maybe 200, 300 slot machines. What do you think it'll look like? People, where the hell is the common sense? Where the hell is the common sense? We're gonna get one. They like make them sound attractive, so they're gonna say only one, but only one on the island. They get a million people. That you just think of, bro. Think of it this way.
Mel. Try
Hey.
to do this. Try count to 3 and take a deep breath.
I just think how stupid. Because I'm a realist. You see, I'm a realist, and I think, guys, you can build one casino unless it's a 50,000 square foot casino. You know how stupid. And then you talked about the EBT, Charlie. Have you had? I don't know how many of you have been approached by people at 7-Eleven that wanted you to trade, so they will buy your stuff with an EBT card, and you will buy them booze.
Yep.
Have you ever been approached by people like that?
Yep.
Okay, because see, they're using the money that should be used for food for alcohol, and gambling gonna be no damn different.
You know what? You know what I do? You know what I do? I'll say, okay, I'll help you go buy booze. They give me the card. They give me their code. I go to the dairy section and buy them all the milk they like. I'm not gonna buy them booze. That's not what it was set up for.
Yeah.
But you know, I wanted to say this. I wanted to say this because you brought up a real good point. You know that person you said, oh, my friend said if we do this, we're gonna get this, right?
Yeah.
And you said, I like to know who that person is. I'll tell you the reason why. For me, once I find that person, the question, I'm only going to ask one question. And the question consists of this. What's in it for you? What's in it for you? Mm-hmm. And that's when you're going to see the true colors. They say, well, I will forego this, but if you make this on the back end, I want a percentage of this. And that's when you start seeing the greed start to develop. So in the beginning, it's like a layaway plan. No need worry, no need pay me up front. But if everything goes well, I catch you on the back end. That doesn't even give you enough time to figure out, okay, if you catch me on the back end, what am I left with then? Because he doesn't talk about if he gonna jump in with you, if he also gonna be in there with the taxes that gotta be paid on it, he's not gonna take all those liabilities. He's gonna say, no, you take the liability. But I want to take everything off the top on the back end. That's not gonna happen. And that's what I would ask.
What should have been done is, and I'm not Hawaiian. Yeah, born and raised here, I don't know, 5th or 6th generation. I don't even know my Portuguese culture, honestly. I only know the Hawaiian culture. But what they should have done is, and you mentioned it earlier, the business plan, right? The business plan. First of all, it's going to cost a lot of money to build this thing. And it's going to cost a lot of money to run this thing. You cannot have a casino and nobody win money. So, you know, the cost, how long does it take before the break-even point? Is it 15 years, 20 years, whatever it is? All of that should have been presented to the beneficiaries, to all the beneficiaries. But
if you're saying that 15, 20 years, right, the break-even point.
And I don't know what it is, Charlie.
But just say hypothetically. But does it mean that for all those years, Native Hawaiians waiting for one home gonna have to wait that long again?
Yes.
Until the thing breaks even?
Yes. That's what I'm trying to get to. So you present the plan, and I should have made that disclaimer that number is just, I pulled it out of the sky. Whatever it is, though. It could be, let's just say it was 5 years. I don't care what it is. But the beneficiaries, the people like you, Charlie, would have to be able to take a look at this business plan, and you decide as a beneficiary, are you willing to allow this to move forward, knowing that it's going to delay the construction of homes, but you believe that their plan will benefit future generations down the road. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I also want to see, if it's possible, and this is not to offend anyone. I want to see some kind of help in a way of showing Hawaiians how to retain their homes. Not get so ahead of themselves that they end up put it on the market because they cannot afford it. I want Hawaiians, someone teach them really the ABCs on how to maintain your homes so you can be comfortable, because that's what it's there for.
Yeah,
I don't want to see any Hawaiian celebrate the first 5 years. I got my home, only to realize, oh, if mom and dad was alive, they would give you money, right, for help out with the mortgage. Well, mom and dad ain't alive. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
You got to get a solid business plan yourself on how to retain your home.
Yeah, and
That's what I would like to see.
that's I think that's the direction that Hawaiian Homeland should be focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, we get friends on here that are showing different jurisdictions, and Brian is talking about, places where it did work. I think people got to understand that we are a destination. Hawaii is a destination. Hawaii is not a town on the mainland. No, we're a destination that relies on tourism, and it's almost like a drug addict or any addict, any addiction that you have. Once you get a taste of and you get addicted, then like you said, Charlie, the one becomes two, the two becomes four, and the one thing that was talked about from Senator Favela, that again, this could be my last point of the night, is that when the state relies on a funding source that is not sustainable, let's say the casino produces some revenue and it's a lot of money, and all of a sudden the state says, hey, you know what? We're going to use the casino revenue and we're going to release general fund revenue, and we're going to redirect the general funds to somewhere else. So in other words, what may have been going to schools or what may have been going to different county functions would be taken out of the general fund budget and replaced with casino revenue. And because it's not sustainable, if you see how many casinos change hands or go bankrupt in the mainland, in Vegas and other places in the country.
Right.
When that funding source reduces, because of the volatility of that industry, then the state no more money now to backfill what the casino was funding. So guess what? Now we're in a big hole. We're in a very big hole, because now we got to go find the money to replace the money that you had rely on from the casino. That is the fiscal impact that most people would not figure out. They're not going to, because they don't think about it. But that is
the only thing I worry about
reality.
is because COLA, the cost of living in Hawaii, probably the highest in the nation. That is already a black mark. And I would be very foolish to think that if you put up a casino, you shouldn't let local residents go in there and play. I mean, that's a foolish way to think.
Yeah.
But the money should actually, I mean, if you want to generate revenue, right? You don't go losing revenue to generate revenue, because you're going to be, you started off with $10, you lose, you're already at a negative. Mm-hmm. Go take the money from somewhere else. And that's why, like we're saying, I'm opposed to it. But that's just my personal feeling. It's just me personally.
I oppose it for a couple of it. Number one is just the law enforcement side. I mean, knows what's going to happen, and based on the people I've talked to across this country in areas that have casino gambling, it's not worth it. The impact, social impacts, is just not worth it. That's number one. The number two is, I think it's an insult. I think it's a slap in the face, as Senator Favela said, to the beneficiaries. Why? What the hell? Why are you going to use up land that could be used for housing? It's just shameful. So that's the two sides of my opposition. Is one is just knowing what can happen, and I'm not willing to accept that just for more money. Mm-hmm. And then the other side is what I consider disrespectful action. Even the thought to do it on Hawaiian homelands is wrong. It's wrong. Okay. Anyway, Charles, it's 8:07. Any you want to close it up, bro?
Well, I just like to say again, thank you to all the viewers. Thank you, Brother Mel. Today was a very long day for me, and I'm so looking forward to going home and seeing my lovely wife having a great dinner, and start all over again tomorrow. So hopefully we'll see you folks tomorrow night where we can just share a little blessings and wishing you all well. So we'll have a very short spurt tomorrow night with Mel and Charlie. But for tonight, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for letting us share what we think are troublesome topics. And we try to have it be a little uplifting. But as always, it's very hard when you deal with subject that really hits the core. And I mean, whether I was Hawaiian or not, there's some things that's going to hit the core, and I'm going to hold the line to it. So I just want to thank you for allowing me to. First time coming from a car on top of that, allowing me to drive home and being with all of you. I really, really appreciate it. Take it home, Brother Mel. Take it home.
Thank you, Charlie. And I appreciate all of you guys chiming in tonight. Appreciate the comments, people. Appreciate the comments. Again, I want to say thank you to all of you that have sent in your condolences and best wishes for my uncle's family. I know they're on tonight, so I know they can read all the comments. So I'm sure they're very thankful. And I would, on behalf of our entire family, I want to say thank you all. Tomorrow night, we'll come on 7 o'clock. Like I said, it would just be to basically wish you all a Happy New Year's. And Charlie, I'm going to ask, and I don't know if, oh, shucks, Stephanie's on, son of a gun. I actually want to see if we can convince our wives to at least come on the screen for a little while.
She will. She will.
Okay, yeah, well, I cannot say that of Patsy, but because Patsy, she don't use the frying pan. She used the kendo stick. You know the kendo stick, the Japanese or the Asian martial art. But if we can at least try to get our wives on so that people get to put the face to the names and all of that, I would love.
Yes.
Love that. So we'll try for that. So anyway, guys, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. It'll be
I gotta say this. The only way I'll get Stephanie on tomorrow night is if I talk her into taking her to McDonald's to let her buy her sundae, and I'll set up the camera this way, and we'll both be on.
That'll work. If I gotta go in our car, and maybe that's what I'm gonna have to do. Get her in the car, go 50 miles an hour. She cannot jump out, and then she don't have a choice. We will make it happen.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Hey, we love all of you guys and appreciate the messages. You guys take care. Stay safe. God bless. We love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, folks. Stay safe. All right. Stay safe, everybody.
Love you guys.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Where's my button? Where's my button?